Hi, I'm Dean Karn, Level 3 Holstein Canada Judge, 4-H dairy leader in Oxford County for going into my 30th year, and also been the chaperone and coach for the Oxford County team at Intercounty. Today I'm going to talk to you about heifer traits, parts of the heifer, how they relate to judging, showing, and even functional traits, how they relate to when you want to breed your heifer, things to look for. So I think we'll start, as I'm holding her, I think we'll start with her head and neck. You want a nice adequate width through the muzzle, which is heifer exhibits. You want nice width through their chest floor, through their front legs. And that's very important, again, for the heifer to support and be able to walk. This heifer is fairly adequate. Some heifers are, I think, in today's are a little too narrow. They get a little bit knock-kneed so that they don't have that nice width and strength through the front end. Just to overall summarize, this heifer is, we talked about her head and neck. I think this heifer for age is a June calf, and she's fairly well grown for her size. She's got a beautiful head and neck that blends well into her chine. I admire how she's got a hard, sharp chine that opens up, blends well into her rib structure. One thing I might change, I love the hardness of top of this heifer and through her rump. I might just make her a little bit wider through her front end, following right through to our hind end. Finally, we're going to talk about her at the back end. We've talked about her legs. We talk about her center legs, and we also will talk about how she tracks straight up. You want nice, from the rear view, you want a proper width to her in between her legs, following up into her pins. You want width of pins, again, to be able to get the calf out, but you also want width through her legs for her future udder development. There's enough width there to create an udder. So then we'll just have her walk a little bit. Just watch how she tracks. Very important on heifers is how they track on their legs from the hind view. You want them tracking very straight, okay? And she does a decent job on this. For an example, I thought I'd tie this heifer up just to show you a few things that we talked about with the other heifer. This heifer, compared to the other heifer, she's got a little bit of a shorter head, and she doesn't have as nice length of neck. You see she's got a fair bit of throat. And again, when you go to, in the show ring, you'd have to be holding a lot of throat. So this heifer is maybe not as desirable through her head and neck. We talked about heifers, nice fullness up through their crops and in through their chine area. Again, this heifer is, see how she dips a little bit in behind her withers? She's not as nice through her crops and through her chine as the other heifer. And again, another example of, we talked about their loin and their back. Again, this heifer breaks a little bit through her back section and especially through her loin. Okay. We were talking about depth of rib. This heifer is extremely deep for her age. To me, she's maybe a little bit on the, she's maybe a little too deep, but not bad. But anyway, she's a different example from the other heifer. She's actually a month younger, so she's a little smaller. But just to show you some differences up through her chine, up through her head and neck. This is an example of a heifer that is very straight in her leg. And see, she stands back quite a ways. Again, her throws are back a little too far. She's pulling her pins are a little bit higher than her hooks, so then it's forcing her legs back. So there's a good example of heifer that's has her throws back too far and is definitely very straight in her legs, as you can see standing here. Okay, to summarize, either if you're picking a calf for 4-H or if you're judging or just looking at the calves in your pen, is the heifer breakdown is 40 for feet and legs, probably the most important, followed by 40 dairy strength and 20 for rump. So we didn't talk about when you're picking a calf. If you're picking a calf for 4-H, again, you want a calf that probably has a nice long neck on her that you don't have to worry about a lot of holding a lot of throat. You want a calf that's preferably hard on top, again, and standing on a good set of feet and legs that you can be able to set her up. Hopefully these points will help you, either if you're showing a calf, picking a calf for 4-H, or just how to breed a calf that's functionally going to make you a profitable cow down the road. Thank you, and hopefully this will help.